Namaste. Welcome to Prana Online Studio. My name is Jane, and today we'll be practicing a balancing practice. So we'll be working on strengthening and stabilizing and balancing our body. And the whole while we're finding this nice, calm, quiet center of awareness that rests within us. So before we begin, you might want to pause the video to make sure you have a few props around. First of all, you may want to have a chair handy because we'll be standing on one leg for a long time, and it helps to stabilize you up there sometimes for some of you. Or if you like, you can have a wall handy too. Just position yourself so you have a wall. You will also need a sanitary wipe because we're going to be doing some anuloma viloma, wiping your hands beforehand if you want to use your fingers to plug alternate nostrils. You should clear your sinuses now before we begin as well, because we're going to be doing a couple of rounds of Kapalabhati to start off with, which is the forceful exhales through our nostrils. So clear your sinuses, and maybe also get a blanket for Shavasana at the end, as we tend to cool off fast once we stop moving. So take a few minutes to get those things, and when you're ready, join me on the mat. So hopefully you've got all your props now. We'll go into a little bit about the benefits of practicing balancing postures. There's the obvious things of building strength in our muscles and bones and helping build coordination in our body and mind. And this can help us to avoid falls, which can lead to serious injury, especially as we get older. And then there's the aspect of balancing that brings us to this beautiful place of calm, this center of awareness that it's a nice place to be able to get to in times of stress. So we're practicing that as well here on the mat. So let's start by finding a comfortable position. I'm going to take Sukhasana, cross-legged, rooting down into the sit bones. If you find yourself tilted back, perhaps sit up onto a block or the blanket that you have to make your pelvis tilt slightly forward. And we'll begin our practice with a single Om, bringing the hands to heart center, thumbs pressing into the sternum. Inhale all together and exhale to Om. Om. Allow the hands to float down. Gently close the eyes if that feels right. And allow the everyday thoughts just to drift away as you feel the muscles of your face begin to soften and relax. Relaxing the arms and the hands and the shoulders. And coming to notice your natural breath. Keeping your spine tall, rooting into the earth, reaching up through the crown. Starting to notice the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. And see if you can balance these two now, inhaling and exhaling for the same length. This is called samavriti, or equal balanced fluctuations, or breathing in this case. And this is a perfect breath for a balancing practice to use as our anchor. And from this anchor of awareness, we can notice as our thoughts drift by, come and go. Without attaching or resisting to them, we just notice the breath. And making an intention for this practice today to stay connected to the breath, perhaps adding a short mantra to each the inhale and the exhale, if that feels right for you. I like to inhale and say silently, I am centered, and exhale and silently say, I am balanced. Noticing at any point in the practice, if you find yourself holding your breath, simply notice, back out of the posture, maybe take a little break, come back to this breath. And also notice any thoughts that have come up at the same time. A really important aspect of this practice is we can notice thought patterns or samskaras that happen in everyday life, but otherwise go unnoticed. So this is our chance to honor those things, not attach to them, just see them and come back to the breath. So blinking open the eyes now whenever you're ready, and we're going to do a couple of rounds of Kapalabhati. We do Kapalabhati to purify and nourish our body, as well as to invigorate it, to light this fire in our core. It lights up the energy of apan pran, that downward energy, which helps us to release any negative thoughts or emotions, anything that we don't need. And that is the kind of the purifying aspect of this practice. It's not a good practice to do if you've just eaten, if you're pregnant, high blood pressure, hernia, hypertension, anything like that. If any of those are the case, please just continue on with your samavriti, equal balance breathing, and observe. At any time, if you feel lightheaded, just back out, come back to natural breath or samavriti, and wait till it passes, and then try again. So a little bit more about Kapalabhati. The practice itself is pulses of exhale and passive inhale. So we'll do the first round slow and the second round a little bit faster, and we'll retain the exhale and the inhale after both. So it sounds a little complicated, but it's really quite simple. As we exhale, we draw the navel in and up. Just leave the hands relaxed down on your legs. And as we inhale, we just rebound passively. So it looks like this. So when you're ready, sit nice and tall. Let's inhale halfway to begin. Nice and slow. Keep your face relaxed. Maybe a gentle smile. Keeping the spine tall and still. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's exhale all the breath out. Lift up the pelvic floor. Let's lower the chin down. So we're locking the torso, the prana, the empty prana in the torso. Holding the exhale as long as you can. Whenever you're ready, lift the chin and inhale. Retaining the inhale, now lift the pelvic floor, lower the chin to the chest, and now you're retaining this full container of prana. Holding as long as your body feels comfortable here. Whenever you're ready, lift the chin and exhale slowly. Coming back to samavriti for a few rounds. Closing the eyes if that feels right. Bringing the attention to Ajna chakra in the center of the forehead and about an inch or two back. It resides right beside the pineal gland in the center of the brain. So just notice what you feel here. When you're ready, opening the eyes. And we'll do a second round a little faster. Inhale halfway and exhale to begin. Remember to relax your face. Relax the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Lift the pelvic floor, lower the chin. Mula Bandha, Jalandhar Bandha. When you're ready, lift the chin. Inhale fully. Engage Mula Bandha, Jalandhar Bandha. Whenever you're ready, lift the chin and exhale completely. Return to Samavriti. Inner focus on Ajna Chakra, the seat of intuition. Feel it's lighting up, opening. Blinking open the eyes when you're ready. And let's slowly make our way into our table posture. Wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. And pressing the tops of the feet on the floor, lifting between the shoulder blades, gaze down. Connect to Samavriti. Inhale to lift the tail. Allow the belly to drop. And lifting the crown, closing the eyes, and coming to Ajna Chakra. Exhale. Tail curls in and crown reaches to tail. With your own breath now, nice and even. Inhale to open the front body. Exhale to open up the back body. 2 more. Finding that full balanced breath. Balancing the front and the back of the spine. And we're going to stretch out the soles of the feet now. So let's tuck the toes under and bring the sit bones back toward the heels. Draw the heels in slightly and feel that stretch that's happening in the soles of your feet. You might want to take the pinkies physically out a little bit, as mine and some people's tend to kind of stay tucked under. We want the toes spread nice and wide. If it's available to you, please come up and put a little weight into the toes. Be gentle with your body. Find that place, that perfect place where you feel the stretch in the soles of your feet. Now, if you're up, you can sweep the arms up and lower the right hand behind your head and bring the left hand to the right elbow and open up the armpit all the way up, the forearm, the upper arm. Inhale to reach both arms up, to switch sides, drawing the left elbow across gently. Connecting to Samavriti. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, let's rock forward. Now we're going to tuck one foot under the other. So I've got my right instep tucked into the arch of the left foot. And we're going to sit back onto that. So now we're opening up the front of the foot inside the arch. Whatever foot is on top, in my case, it's the right foot. We're going to wrap that right arm on top. And if you want, you can create your eagle arms, lifting those elbows up and breathing here. Samavriti. Inhale, I am centered. Exhale, I am balanced. Unwinding the arms, rocking forward. Let's switch sides. Now I have my left foot on top of my right. This can feel a little uncomfortable until you start practicing it routinely. So wrapping the left arm over the top this time and coming into those eagle arms again with the backs of the hands facing each other. If it works, you can wrap so the palms are facing, lifting the elbows and reaching those palms forward. Breathing here. Connecting to the nice equal inhale and exhale. And with our nice open feet, we can come back to table, tuck the toes under, and push ourselves straight up into a bent down dog. So wiggle around, find your center of gravity here. Inhale, let's straighten one leg, stretching out the calf and the back of the ankle. Exhale to bend. Inhale to stretch out the other. And exhale to bend. Inhale, when you're ready to straighten both, reaching the heels down towards the earth, spreading the toes and fingers wide. We have 4 roots into the ground, reaching the tail high as you draw the ribs in, shoulders down, and connect to Samavriti. 2 more equal, balanced, calming, centering breaths. And then inhale, come high to the toes, gaze your way to the top of the mat, and then walk gently into Uttanasana, bending the knees and just allowing the upper body to hang. Let's look at the feet now and wiggle those toes. Wake them up, spread the toes wide as you can. Maybe help the pinky a little so it's nice and wide, and then allow the head to relax. Nodding yes and no. Let's rock side to side, feeling the weight go into the outer edges of the feet. And then forward and back. You can always use blocks under your hands if your hands don't easily touch the floor, or really bend your knees so that they do. And whenever you're ready, on an exhale, start to roll up one vertebrae all the time, one vertebrae at a time, to come up to Tadasana. So Tadasana is a pose we have to really break down in a balancing practice. Looking down at your feet now, let's lift all 10 toes and spread them out as wide as you can, rooting down into the balls of the feet as you lift the arches and place the outside edges of the feet down too. So you can lower the toes and lift them, keeping that dome shape. This is called padabandha in your feet. It's your foot lock. So leaving the toes lifted, let's feel that energy as it rises up into your ankles, into your shins, into your quads. And now let's feel it rise into the pelvic floor, lifting the pelvic floor, the perineum. This is Mula Bandha. Continuing up, we draw the navel in like we did in Kapalabhati for Uddiyana Bandha. And this Uddiyana Bandha brings that energy all the way up to Ajna Chakra and then up to the crown. And like a thread, it continues up. So the trick is we want to keep this lifted feeling. Palms can face forward to open the chest as we gently lower those toes down. See if you can keep that lifted feeling and connect to Samavriti. Now, just for fun, be playful here. I'd like you to close your eyes if that feels right. Start to notice the little tiny adjustments that you feel in your feet and your ankles, maybe in your shins. And this is your sensory receptors speaking to your brain. And then your brain sends the signal down to make these little adjustments. And this is called proprioception. And it has to work extra hard when it doesn't have your eyes to help know where the horizon is. So a couple more breaths here, and then let's blink open the eyes again. So now, keeping the weight in both the feet evenly, we're going to come into some side bends. Inhaling to sweep the arms up. Let's bind the left wrist with the right hand and then tilt our way over to the right side. So here is where we're using our awareness to make sure we've got weight in both feet. And we connect to Samavriti. Inhale to open the chest maybe a little slightly. Sending the gaze up to the ceiling can be a little off balancing, but just notice. Breathe through it. Let your body come to know it's safe. This calming, centering breath. Inhale, let's make our way up through center, and then exhale, gently float both arms down. Inhale the other side. Exhale, reach up and over. 2 full rounds of centering Samavriti. Inhale to come up and exhale down. Let's do 2 half flows now. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Palms together if it feels right. You can bend back slightly. And then exhale, let's bring the prayer, namaskar, all the way down the center to forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, let's inhale to bring the arms forward and reach them all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. One more time. Inhale, sweep up. Lean back if it feels right. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale. This time, let's plant the hands and inhale to step back into our high plank. You've always got the option to lower the knees. Slowly with elbows in, we lower all the way down. Inhale, we come into a baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, we'll push up into a table. You're welcome to stay in table or exhale, push your way up into Parvatasana. Rooting down through all 4 corners of your feet, spreading your fingers wide. Shoulders draw down your back. So either in all fours or in Parvatasana, let's lift the right leg up, keeping the knee fully bent. So now we have to adjust our proprioception to be on 3 foundations. Give your body a chance to realize this. And then slowly start to create circles. So we find our center of gravity and then we be playful and dance around this center of gravity. So drawing the knee in and out to the side, up to the ceiling and down. So as we raise it up, we inhale. As we draw down, we exhale. We keep the hips square and the rest of the body still. And let's find the other direction now. So inhale always comes up to the ceiling. Exhale down towards the earth. 2 more. Last one. And then we bring the knee in between the wrists. So our shoulders are stacked over the wrists. And step into Chatakasana, lowering the back knee down. And making sure the front knee is over the front ankle. So take a moment here in Chatakasana to find your center of gravity, gazing down to the floor. This is what's called our drishti, point of focus in front of us that doesn't move. This helps us find our balance, our concentration. One more breath, and then slowly bring your hands up to the thigh. Find your new center of gravity is a little bit higher. You can bring your hands to your hips. And if it feels right, you can lift your arms up, taking Gyan Mudra, thumb and index fingers, palms facing each other. Or you can lift way up and lean back. Maybe even play around with the gaze going up. Find 3 Samavriti. Drawing the legs together, feel that energy coming up into Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And you can have the hands come down to the leg or the floor and lift the back knee if that feels right, or you can stay with the knee down. And then come up once again, this time with the knee off into a modified warrior 1. So here's where we're starting to challenge the nervous system. Teach it to be calm in stressful situations. So we're down-regulating our nervous system, finding a balance of effort and ease in yoga, sthira and sukham. One more breath, and then lowering down. We'll flow through here or just come back to down dog or table. So if you're flowing, inhale, plank, exhale, lower, down, inhale. You can find an upward dog if you wish. Exhale, Parvatasana. And remember, option to be in a table here. Lifting the left leg now, bending the knee. Let's create some circles. So exhale, we draw the knee down to the earth. Inhale, out and up. Keep those hips square. Feel how your body is adjusting to keep itself in its center of gravity. And let's go the other direction. Enjoying this beautiful hip opening, lubricating movement. And the next time your knee's down, draw it in between your wrists and step it through Tadasana on the other side. So let's start grounding to the earth, looking down, feel really plugged in to Earth's energy. You can lift the front toes so you get a sense of that pada bandha in the front foot. Coming up now, hands come to the leg. Feel your center of gravity change. Hands can come to the hips, making sure the pelvis is not tilted forward. We want it to nice and straight. Arms can come to cactus with Gyan Mudra or reaching straight up. Find two centering, grounding, balancing Samavriti breaths. Feel like you're scissoring your legs together, lifting Mula Bandha, lifting Uddiyana Bandha. And lower the arms. Let's tuck the toes and lift that back knee if that's what you did on the other side. And coming back up to whatever variation. Noticing the wiggles, how your body is constantly adjusting. Finding our balance is not about finding stillness. It's about finding calm amidst these constant little adjustments your body has to do to stay centered. And then exhale, we come down. Inhale, step back. So we can either flow once or come to straight to down dog. And then exhale to walk the hands back towards the feet. And find another exhale to slowly roll up. Right to the top into Tadasana. Have a drink, get your chair ready if you need it, and we'll come into the balancing sequence. So let's find Tadasana once again. Rooting down to the balls of the feet. As you lift the toes, lift the arches, and then plug the toes back down again. Finding that height, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. So lifting, rooting down into the left foot. Let's lift the right leg off the ground, but we're going to line the knees up so that the knees are in line. Holding them there. So you can have your hand on a chair or the wall, but make sure you don't grip or lean onto it. You're just hovering above. It's there just for moral support. So now we're going to start to internally and externally rotate the leg, keeping the hips still. So inhale, we externally rotate. Inhale, exhale, we internally rotate. So just breathe here. Inhale one direction, exhale the other. Very hard to cue this internal, external rotation with inhale, exhale, for some reason. One more time. Now here's where you might need the chair because we're staying on this leg for quite some time. So don't be shy. Get the chair if you need it. We're going to start to create circles. So inhale, we come forward. And then exhale, we draw to the side and down. Let's do 3 more, just like we did in down dog, only now we're standing. 2 more. And last one. Changing directions. You're going to start to feel the outside, the glute med and min in the outside of that left hip. So take breaks whenever you need to. We're building strength and stability in those outside stabilizers of the left leg. I'm going to continue on, coming into Vrikasana or tree pose. So you can either put the foot in a kickstand on the calf, as long as it's not on the knee joint. You can press it up into the upper thigh. So lifting up out of that left hip, maybe bring one hand or both hands into Namaskar Mudra. Find your drishti. Lift up through the crown of the head using your bandhas. Connect to the breath. As soon as we stand on one leg, all extraneous thoughts leave, and our focus is pointed on this balance. That's why balancing is so calming. Noticing all those little wiggles. This is your sensory receptors. After signaling the brain, your brain makes all these little adjustments. Trying to align your center of gravity with the Earth's gravitational field. And remember, this isn't about being still. This is a constant centering and recentering. So let's take a break, lower it down, shake it out. And we'll come over to the other side. So rooting down into that right foot and drawing the left heel towards the left sit bone. So remember, the chair is there just for moral support, just in case you're teetering. And then start your circles. So inhale up, exhale out and down. Hips remain still. You're lifting the whole time. You're finding your drishti. We're just dancing around that center of gravity, changing the direction of the circle. And then coming into Vrikasana or tree pose on the other side. So remember, it's kickstand on the calf or hugging it right up into the thigh. So pressing thigh into foot, foot into thigh, finding the energy to lift up Mula Bandha, not only from the foot, but from that pressure, and lifting tall. One or both hands come to prayer. Finding your centering breath. As much as we find calm and stability, we also find the reverse. If ever we fall out of tree pose, we can often hear the inner critic speak. Why can't you do this? You should be able to do this. And even worse yet, if you're in a public class, you can even feel a sense of humiliation, which is far overreacting to the situation, but it's our ego speaking. It doesn't like to lose control and be out of balance. So balancing can teach us this important insight into these samskaras we normally never see. A natural human condition is to feel this, but we have the opportunity now to see it and come back to the breath and try again. Maybe with this time even with a little bit of a sense of humor. Paul Coelho says it perfectly. The secret of life is to fall down 7 times and to get up 8. One more breath here. And then slowly release out and shake the legs out. A move I like to do, if you have a chair back or not, is just reach your hips back into the side as you bend your knees side to side. Almost like a motion of skiing. It really helps to relieve that tension. of those stabilizers we used in the balancing. So this is a practice. This practice we've just done is a great practice to do every day. It only takes 10 minutes and you can really build your strength fast. So to finish off before we come to the floor, let's just rise up on our toes here. First of all, finding Pada Bandha, Mula, Uddiyana Bandha, reaching tall. Find your drishti, and then rise up onto the toes, bringing the arms forward in front of you. So we have a lot of sensory receptors in our neck because our body always wants to know where our head is in space, or our brain always wants to know, rather. So let's play around with this, and remember, have a sense of fun. So we're going to open the right arm to the side, and then exhale, center. Open the left to the side. Exhale, center. Now you can repeat this again, or you can a little more slowly have the gaze move in the same direction as the arm. Exhale back to center. Don't hold your breath. Keep the breath. Inhale the other side. Exhale, center. This is where you really see those proprioceptive adjustments. High on the toes, and now using your drishti, let's guide ourselves all the way down to the floor. And then slowly lower down. Take a couple of minutes here to give our feet some love. So put the soles of your feet together, and let's start to massage our big toes. We have something like 25 bones in our feet, 20 joints, 20 muscles. They're very complicated, complex things, our feet. And that's because they have to be able to hold us stable and give us mobility as we stand and walk and run. So continuing to massage each toe. I'm on my fourth toe, and then the pinky toe, and then coming into the metatarsals, the arches and the instep, and then lifting the heels and giving them a massage. Feeling gratitude as you massage the ankles, maybe moving up into the shins and the calves. And then here's where we're going to need the sanitary wipe, because after wiping or after massaging our feet, we certainly need to sanitize our hands. So coming into a nice tall seated posture, and we'll do a few rounds of Anuloma Viloma to clear and balance our energy channels, right and left hemispheres of the brain. It calms us down. The foot massage was to ground us to the earth after all that Vata balancing, so I hope you feel that. So with our nice clean hands, we can curl our index and middle finger in. If you like to use a hand mudra for Anuloma Viloma. Some people can just do it without the hands. But if you're doing it with the hands, we're going to plug the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Plug the left nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Plug the right. Exhale left. I'll guide one more. Inhale left. Plug the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale, plug the right. Exhale left. Allow the hands to float down now and see if you can do it without the hands. So inhaling left. Exhaling right. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. Two more on your own. now slowly making your way onto your back, or if you have a chair handy, you can bring yourself into a position with your calves on the chair. This is a nice way to relax the feet, the legs, the hip joints. Try and have your hips right under your knees and then lay down to the earth. Find a comfortable position for your arms. Covering yourself with a blanket is a good idea because you tend to cool off pretty fast. So finding stillness, making sure you're completely comfortable, and then finding stillness. Closing the eyes. And just letting go of any kind of focus as you remain fully awake and aware of all that is from this quiet center of awareness. I'll call you back when it's time. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Blinking open your eyes, starting to wiggle the muscles of your face, your toes, your fingers, your ankles, your wrists. And let's inhale to stretch arms and legs high toward the ceiling. And then exhale to hug the knees in toward the chest. Maybe a gentle rock back and forth. Eventually rocking onto your right side. And using helping hands to come up into your final seated posture. Come once again to Sukhasana, or however you started at the beginning, switching the cross of the legs from how you would normally sit. Closing down the eyes. And feeling gratitude for this center of awareness. Feeling centered and balanced, rooted to the earth, connected to divine, up tall through the crown of the head, connected to all that is. As you shine the light of Ajna Chakra, bring the hands to Namaskar Mudra. Let's seal the practice with a single Om. The sound of the universe, of you. Inhale. Om. Thank you for centering with me, sharing your light. Namaste.